Okay, so the Lauri Markkanen sweepstakes are over. He's going to Cleveland on the contract that I think he would have wanted. The Bulls are getting the first round pick they wanted for him. Granted, it's lottery protected. That's in 2022 from the Blazers. Derek Jones Jr. as well going to the Bulls. Larry Nance Jr. to the Blazers. I think he can help them out. Anyway, the big thing is Markkanen on the Cavs. So, does this mean the long-term front court for the Cavs is Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen? I'm trying to picture the way that that works defensively, and to me it's pretty much Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen hide Markkanen as much as they can. But does that mean now that Markkanen sometimes is going to have to defend wing players? Do we think he can handle that? I mean, Mobley is supposed to be versatile enough to where you can put him on a wing player or on a big guy, and he should be able to handle that. So maybe that's just good enough to where you can then put Markkanen wherever you need to put him. We'll have to see. Maybe Evan Mobley is just that good defensively that you can put him wherever you need to put him in order for Markkanen to start with those guys. Now, if they don't view Markkanen as the long-term starter, then that'd be a little weird to give him this contract, I think. What does this do to Isaac Okoro now? It could push him to the second unit. I mean, that'll be an interesting thing, right? Like, Cleveland does have some versatility now in their stuff. You know, you can go Okoro at the 4, you can go with Evan Mobley at center, you can go Markkanen maybe at center if he can handle that stuff. So there's a lot of options. In terms of what's going to be the best one, we're going to have to see, but given the contract and given the state of the team, I can understand why they want to do this with Markkanen, because if anything, maybe it just doesn't work out for whatever reason. I think it's a pretty tradable contract. I mean, it's what, $17 million a year or so for Lauri Markkanen, or maybe a shade under $17 million. So I figure why not see if you can make this work. Now, to think about the play style with Markkanen on the Cavs, I mean, the obvious thing is him setting screens for Garland and Sexton and then spacing the floor out when Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley are setting screens for Garland and Sexton. Now, obviously, it's going to be more than just that, but that's the first thing I would picture. And, you know, Evan Mobley, we already know the ball handling is good with him. It's not amazing, but it's definitely good enough to be excited. Markkanen's a good ball handler as well, even if he hasn't really been able to translate that into beating defenders off the dribble or developing as a playmaker. But it does give you a lot of options where, you know, Markkanen, he's good enough to where he can pop and then he can actually take it off the dribble, assuming that the defense is not crowding the hell out of him, and then hopefully make some sort of play or just finish at the rim. And then that play could be Jarrett Allen potentially in the dunker spot, Evan Mobley in the dunker spot, Evan Mobley spacing out if he can develop as a shooter, because draft people believe he can do that as well. Again, there is a world in which it could all make sense. It's just a matter of, is Lauri Markkanen really that guy? Because we've seen him on his best days looking like someone who can make threes at a really high level and go off the dribble and give you something around the basket, roll a bit. And then on his bad days, it's like, well, he can dribble, but he doesn't really do anything with it. His shooting is inconsistent, and defensively he's not that good. So it's up to Cleveland to put him in the right spot to do well. And again, if it doesn't end up working out that much, they didn't give him a crazy contract that can't be moved. So, okay. I guess the fear would be that his value would just drop so low that nobody else would want him. But I'm imagining, if anything, he's at least going to be good from 3. And so that'll help his case out no matter what. So there's that. To think about just the other little parts of this trade for a bit. So Larry Nance Jr. on the Blazers, I think that's pretty cool because he could give them like a real screen partner for Dame. No, it's not going to change everything with the Blazers, but it's at least a power forward who draws a little bit more attention from the defense, because for so long the Blazers 4 has just been like Aminu or Covington, just some guy who's cool from 3, not great, does nothing off the dribble, barely gives them a guy who can set screens. Nance can actually do some stuff. He can finish at the rim, of course, so that's cool. As for Derek Jones on the Bulls, it's a defender. They needed defenders. Once again, it's cool.